So guys, welcome to Trick 11, Week 11 of the new Direct Deception YouTube channel era. So as you can see, we're going to be performing with this Theory 11 Dark Knight deck. It's one of my favourite decks at the moment. Just the design of them is just so cool. Especially the Jokers. I love the Jokers in this deck. But we don't need them for this trick, so we'll get rid of them for now. And yeah, with all that said, let's jump in to the performance. So, we're going to be playing a little game today instead of doing a little trick. The game is very simple, so the cards that were mixed up in at the start of the trick, so we'll just give the cards a quick cut, and the spectator, there's two spectators for this performance, and I tell them both I've got a prediction inside the card box. I will leave that off to the side for now, okay? So spectator number one, I tell to take the deck, and I ask to deal 2 piles of 8 cards. So they do that now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they've dealt the cards now, and we don't need the rest of the deck, so we'll just place this off to the side for now. So we've got these 2 piles of cards. Now spectator number 2 over here is going to decide which pile they like. Let's say they decide they want that pile, and spectator number 1 will get that pile. Now spectator number 1, I'll ask who they want to go first in this game. Either spectator 1 or spectator 2 will take the first turn. And basically the idea of the game is they're going to be creating 4 random 2-digit numbers. And you'll see how that works as we go ahead right now. Okay, so spectator 1 says they want to go first. So that will change the outcome of the trick as well. So they're going to pick up their packet of cards, and they're going to take out any number card and just place it down, and that's going to be the first digit of our number. So they place a 9 down, for example. And now spectator number 2 will go second, and they'll look at their cards, and let's say they take out an 8. So we start off with a very high number. We got the number 98. Okay, so we'll place those cards there for now. And now spectator number 1 will go again, and we'll start a new number. And let's say they take out the top card here. Let's say they go for quite a low number this time, and they go for a 2. And now spectator number 2 will take out another number card. Let's say they place down a 4. So we've got 98 and 24 so far. So we're going to create 2 more numbers. So spectator number 1 will take their pile. Let's say they go for the 6. This time they take out 6. And then spectator number 2 will do the same thing again. They'll take their cards. And let's say they go for a 3 this time. So they go for 63. And then we'll do 1 more number. And spectator number 1 takes out a card. Let's say they put down a 5 this time. And they'll hand me back their cards. We don't need them anymore. And then spectator number 2, let's say they go for, let's say they go for a 7. Okay, so now they give me back the rest of the cards. If they're taking out any other cards, for example, they could have picked out another 2, made a 62, and then we would have ended up with a completely different number. And obviously if the cards have been shuffled differently at the start of the trick, we would have ended up with 4 completely different numbers. Now what we're going to do is we'll get rid of the rest of the deck. We don't need that for now. Is we're going to take a calculator, and we're just going to add up these 4 2-digit numbers together. Now you probably won't be able to see the display on the calculator from the camera, but if you've got a calculator at home on your phone, then feel free to add these numbers up as well. I'll also put a little graphic on the screen to make sure that you can see the calculation is correct as well. Okay, so we'll start off with the number 98. We'll take 98, and then we'll add 24, and then we'll add 63, and then we'll add 57. And if we equal that together, and the total of that number, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on here, but you'll see it on the screen somewhere else. It is 242, and hopefully if you did that at home, you arrived at the same number. Okay, so you can all agree that was totally fair, and obviously we could have ended up with a completely different number depending on whether spectator number 2 went first or whether the cards were shuffled differently. All these different factors could have ended up on a completely different number. However, I placed a prediction in the card box, remember, at the beginning, and I told you it was a game, but it was actually a trick, because in the card box I placed a 2, a 4, and a 2. The number 242. So that's the trick. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the outro. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that performance of yet another John Bannon trick. That one's called Big Bad Ad. It's a very cool trick. It's very deceptive, and I really enjoy performing it. It's not one of my favourite tricks, but it's a good trick to perform. It is on my set list, so there you go. So if you enjoyed the performance, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like the video if you enjoyed today's trick. And with all that said, I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.